I'm going to have a go at this today. This is a little street scene in a local village, Olney in Buckinghamshire. I like this. I did a painting a couple of days ago of the Bull Inn, but I just across the street I saw these rank of shops here with the tree and the shadow and the light, and I thought I'd have a go at that. So there are a few issues here. Of course, the cars are always problematic in doing a painting. So I've set myself a bit of a challenge to see what I can make of it anyway. I've got a pedestrian here. I'll probably leave out that car there, but I've got all these shadows and the dark being cast on this rooftop, and the trees starting to change colour, all the shadows here, and the perspective, and the houses, and that I must try and capture that light there on that face of that building. See that it contrasts with the other side here, so we capture the light. But anyway, let's have a go at that. So we're going to start off with a wash to the sky. I'm going to have another graduated wash, so I'm going to use the wet technique. So I've got a flat brush here. This tree I think will come across a bit more, and over here a little bit, but I've sketched it out just fairly accurately with a few odd changes here and there. I'll just give that a good soak. Then I'll put in some little gentle wash of blue. I could keep this brush actually, and I'm going to use my cobalt blue. Yes, I've got cobalt, ultramarine, and a phthalo blue, which I used the other day, was wicked, far too garish, so just going to stay with the cobalt, and a nice wash, run it across, and you can see it's already running down nicely because I've got the board on a tilt. I'm going to put a little, I picked up a little bit of that phthalo from there, so let's just see what happens blending it. And I'll wipe out that. It doesn't matter that I've gone over these buildings because they're going to be a lot darker. That's not a problem for me really. Actually, I did buy a brush recently, nice big 1.5 inch brush, which I've been meaning to get for a little while. This is a short flat aquafine Daleroni, but these are really handy if you want to just dampen them, wring out the water a little bit, and you can lift a little bit of the cloud there, and put in the cloud, lift a little bit of this. I think I'll leave that. Yes, let's just leave that for the moment. I've got this bit of the road, all this white, so I find it's better we kill this a bit quick because it's difficult to judge your other colours when you have that. So I need a little earthy colour. So I'm going to put a little bit of burnt umber. I need a little greyish colour, a little bit more grey. So I think we better put a bit of Payne's grey in that. A little bit of bluey. I think a bit of red actually. I think it's looking a little bit. Yes, that will do. Just sweep this in. This is Langton's £140 watercolour paper. It's good quality paper. A road, there's another road up there. So I think I'm going to just go with that. I need to put a slightly different colour here. Because I haven't wet this. This is a little bit of reflection on that. I don't know if you can see that in my lights in my studio, the spotlight downlighters. Certainly seeing the glare myself right now. I think I'm going to use my squirrel brush and put in some different blues there. Gosh, I've got that dreadful blue again. I've got that too strong. I'm using Sennelier paints today. They are certainly very vivid and very intense, a lot of colour value in them. So I'm going to get a little bit of crimson lizard mix there to try and give me some hints of, got a tree here. Well, this is a little bit wet. I can diffuse it in. The shape of some tree here. I'll put that in a minute. And got a foam box there. It's casting a shadow there. And we've got shadows all across here. It's a little too dark. It's coming across. It's quite dark here. Put that roof in. This is just trying to make use of this colour, and it's projecting onto here as well. You can see that onto this roof line as well. And even coming all over here. Does it come? Yes, it comes right up. This tree is casting quite a shadow over this. We'll be doing a different colour here for this building here. So I think we've got some this. I think I'll soften up some of these lines there. So damp brush here, take those hard edges away. Right, okay, let's leave that. And actually this, I think I'll get some slightly ochre colour in this foreground on this pavement, because it's getting some light is coming there. Sun is coming left to right, so I think we need some little bit of sunshine here, and also across the street this as well. It's coming here, a little bit there as well. Just get a little bit of yellow as well. Got some cadmium yellow, tiny little hint, which I can perhaps hint at some warmth along there. That will look bright now, but that will dull down a little bit. Although, will it go? Perhaps I better grey that out a bit. I think lift a little bit. That's better. That'll do it. There's cars along here, so we have some quite vivid colours there. Also, I could lift a little bit here. A little bit of light there on that coming through there. So you can do this with a good quality paper. Just get a bit of tissue and damp brush and it lifts off. I think I need that's too strong there. Right. Okay, let's leave that. I think I'm going to go straight in and get some nice colours in here for the front of that building. So I use one of my Chinese brushes, I think. I like these, you can get a nice point on them. They're really for calligraphy, actually. So I'm going to get a little bit of brown, reddy brown, a little bit of cadmium mixed with it, and a little water. Let's go for it. Yes, I think we can do that. A little bit more water though. Got some body to it. A bit more cad red. Yes, I think we can do it. This is brick as well, so we've got to put some suggestion of bricks into that a little bit later. And let's just see what we can do here. There's a little bit of texture, or a little bit of surface on this paper. So you can, if a little bit of dry brush, you know, when your brush is not so heavily loaded, you can see a little bit of sparkle and light caught by the paper. Let's get a little bit redder in parts though. It's more cadmium. Let's put a little orange with that. A little bit crimson alizarin as well. I think that's a little bit too red. I'll get a little cadmium yellow. Yeah, I think we can do these. As I said, it's elements of it are caught by the tree shadow, so they're obviously looking a lot darker in parts. Got a great tip on these Chinese brushes, really designed for calligraphy. They serve my purpose well. I often try different brushes. I like the Daleroni ones quite a lot, but I like to try these different brushes, get different brush marks, different textural effects. Okay, let's leave that one. What I've got down here, got some brick column work, sort of nice bit of texture there. Could try and show some bricks. It's a pillar and it comes right down here. Let's extend it a little bit. And we have another one to the left here. Let's go with that. Okay, like that. We can try and put a bit of a shadow in some areas as well, so it looks a bit more solid. Can always do that. That's what you need to do to get a sense of form sometimes. This one is also brick, but there's quite a bit darker in this one because we're under this cast shadow of this tree coming off here, which I'll get in a little later. Right, that'll do it. I'll do the windows later. It's all brick here, there's a sign there. This is a local supermarket, a grocery store. In this little town, Georgian town, very old buildings. I think we'll tighten up on these window frames, the structures later. And this one, I think there's a bit of brickwork here still. Down here, another column of brick. And this is also brick, this tall one. Let's make that a little brighter. So let's get some yellow, plenty of water. Maybe we should put a little ochre in it, actually, because we've got to get that contrast. With this one on the right, we want a different colour. Yes. But I also need a little hint at the brick colour. So let's see. Can introduce a little bit in the brighter areas, which are not so heavily shaded. Right, that'll do it. Yes, I think. This side is quite dark actually. I've got to get that. I think I'm going to use a little bit of raw burnt umber. It needs to be a fair bit darker. Let's see what we can get with that. Let's put a bit of blue in it, a bit of Payne's grey. Yes, that could do that job. It comes up here, there's a chimney rest here. Can do with the pots later, all top elements of the chimney, but all this face was quite dark. Let's get that in. Right, there we go. A little better. And then I have to make this even darker. Roof line comes there. Pattern doesn't go much darker. So I've got a lot of contrast with that. They're both dark, but this one is got to try and vary these tonal values. Although they're both dark, you've got to separate it so the eye can see that this is a different roof structure. right down here to this line here, which we'll be dealing with a bit later. This stage I'm just trying to get the masses in, first wash really. Raise that up a bit too high. Still, these roofs were often very uneven. These old buildings, the ridge lines. Actually, well, we've got a bit of dark. At this point, we'll just run that in. So we know somewhere where we are. And again, you get roof line there. This building here. I've got the roof, chimneys here. Now this one, let's make that, it is dark but a little browner, so let's get some burnt sienna, I think, and a little bit of Payne's grey. Yes, I think I can do with this different brush here. This is making hard work of it. So let's go with this little one here, which is a flat number 10. These are quite handy for get a nice line sometimes. It's slightly higher as well. It was nearer to us, and I'll help with our perspective. That's better. It is dark, but it's a little bit more light on this. Got a bit of blue, a little violet there. Reflect the tiles. Again, I can put some suggestion of the tiles and roof work later. I think I'm going to use a dark bit here now. We'll diffuse a little bit. Shadow there above this window. Emphasize this line a little bit more. Some different tones in here. And this, I have to put some dappledy effects on that later, just to show that we've got shadow on that. So I've got to allow some chance to show variety. Right, let's leave that. Now here's where I've got this colour. I think we could put those windows, this shop window. Fairly black. Big window there. Go down. And that's something slightly different there. This doorway. Right, we'll go with that. And then, let's see. And I'm referring to my reference photograph. So there will be a good degree of simplification. You can't follow it all exactly, it's too fussy. You can put in the darks. You leave something for the viewer to do as well. They will fill in a lot in their perception of what shop windows are. What they expect to see. Put some different colours in here in a minute to give some suggestion of what's going on in the shops. Some labels and now what do I do with this? Well, this from my sketch, you'll notice I can probably maybe see I've done some darks in my sketch to kind of suggest different areas. There's my post box there. I'm gonna get that in a minute. It's just got a black thing there. A line, bit of shadow under this signage here. Do that. Some differences. Right, now let's think. Got some shadow of that phone box. Do that. Deal with the cars in a moment. A little bit complicated. Let's get some different colour going. Got to do these fronts, haven't I? And the front of this one, oh, that's white. I've got to keep that white. Yes, keep that white. And the roof, what has that got? I think a little ochre, much lighter along there. Catch a bit of it there. Bit of dry work there. If I just scoop my brush along here, you can see the texture on the paper being picked up. It suggests maybe some tile work. down there. Okay, let's put in some, oh, now there was a nice green here. So I've got a bit of hookers here, a little bit of hookers green. Make a nice green to put in to this shop signage there. Yes, we can do that. Comes down a little bit. We'll run it down. Back to simplify it. We'll bring it down a bit further, and then I can keep that white there as part of the structure. Now the front of these other buildings is sort of just off. Slightly yellowy actually. Let's get a bit of lemon yellow. Get some clean yellow. Oh, that's better. I think I'm going to just, yes, after this one here. Sort of slightly lemony yellow this. Okay, and then our shop windows here. We need to yes, we need to put some darks as well. Could try to put in some colours actually, some of the shop signage around, and we won't be able to see them in reality. They're hinted at now. Little bits of colour and advertising. Little stacks of this and that, as they have. I noticed too the various things going on. Reds and signage. Let's get some blues actually. There's some nice bits of blue going on in some of these windows. I think we should do that. I can just sweep it in. I think we could do that. Yeah, what I've got is let's into that. Right, let's get a brown. Some of these are too bright at the moment. Right, let's go with that. Now let's get a bit of nice ochre going in some of this building over here. So very light on that face, that building, and some of this varied a little bit. In fact, this face was a bit darker. So I'll mix some blue in there with our raw sienna, I think. We should do that. So we've got some change. That's a big window there too. Let's. What's it there? Let me see. Yes, I think there's some hint of frontage there. I need to put something in the roof though. Let's go some. What have we got here? Yeah, that'll do it. Something in that roof. That's better. Don't want to make it too dark or too much colour, because it will bring it forward, which I don't want to do, because it is a few hundred yards away. I'm going to put a darker bit for that roof though, that roof line on that other one. So let's go for a little darker brown, I think. Yeah, just so it's offers some differentiation from the other roof. The chimney here, there's a window there. This is a dark. Let's get something a bit different there. Right, okay, we'll do that. And with a fine brush, we'll put in some details later. Got a nice street light to put down there, but let's get the tree in now, so we can start framing it up a little bit. So I'm going to use some umber, some raw umber, Payne's grey, to get me started for my tree. It was covering here, coming out. Right. boughs coming this way, but I'll be putting some more leaf in here so you won't see these boughs, but they're just so that they did appear. Got some logic to it. Some to suggest it. Right, can leave that for the moment. Actually, it came right across here now. Just looking at my reference. We need, it's casting a shadow here, so it's not unreasonable. We put a few boughs there. When I've put in some, actually there's a lot of green going in. We can, if I go with a bigger, with my squirrel brushes, let's get some greens. Bit of hookers, bit of raw sienna. Let's put a bit of yellow, brighten the green a little bit. This will give me to build on. This is my general wash of green. Put some blues into along with our ochre. Give me something more. They were fairly light actually out here, so darker in the inner part of the tree. Could go with that then, because it's right. Let's leave that. Then we can put in with our fan brush. A little bit later. Now let's get this other shop frontage sorted out. There was, I think, a good wash of blue in these. Good place to start. These windows. I'll put some blacks in there shortly. Darken up some of these frames. Then we've got to have something that's all too white at the moment. We need to warm it up a little bit. How does that look? Then I see. Yes, I need to have a different brush in a minute to put some signage in. But this is too white. Let's let's wash something in here. Okay. And then when I put the windows in, that will tighten up on the things a little bit better. And then, if I get a smaller brush now, with some thick paint, I could maybe hint at some of these signs and things. Now where do I start? It's tricky actually to if you were going to be really accurate from your picture, but you've got to do what's right for the painting rather than the slavishly following pictures. Got more signs out here. They've got the signage here. So over here, projecting out here on the wall, which will put some structure to make it read a bit better in a minute. Give some form to some of these things. Some different colors going. Right. Now I need some signage again. Got some reds, some blues, corporate colours, different places. I'm going to put a nice red now. If I can get some cadmium red. There. A little bit on there. Right. And let's go with this car here. Let's make this one a red one. Very tricky doing cars. Actually, it's not an easy task. I'll pull it out here a bit. Right, I'll leave that one, a little blue one, a little black one, and red, and we'll get some blacks and blues, and let's mix something to suggest this one. Oh, we'll give him a dark. He's going to be darker, yeah. Maybe I think a bit bigger, this one. Right, okay. leave it like that. I've got to put some shadows under these cars as well. This often helps to define the shape a little bit. You put some suggestion of the windscreen and try and preserve some of the lights. Right, okay. Let's try and put some black in for some of these windows. Pane's grey anyway, I should say. Never use black on its own. Right. Dark under here still, we need to get that sorted out. Yes, I think could put some here. Get this in. Help it read a bit better. I think this out here needs to be darker. You can define these windows a lot better actually when you dry our paint. We can put some fine little dabs in for the windows. This is there, look, we do it in layers. Something a bit darker there. Purpley colour. This window in. Something darker, I think. Yes, that's a bit dark. I'm just sort of hinting at these windows. letting the viewer do a bit of work as well. That's better. Some of these tighten these window frames. I could do this with a pen actually at the end. I've got to write some of the shop signs in as well. Got a choice, I can do that with pen or have a go with my painting to do it. Depends how accurate you want to be. Much more accurate with a pen actually. But we'll see how we go. A little car here in the distance. Got more suggestion than accurate. Right. Could I put in some of these shop frontage to make them look real? By just putting in some of a little bit more accurately at the right stage, you can start it to turn it around. It starts to read a lot better. But then again, if you do too much, it loses its spontaneity really, which is what you get with an impressionistic painting. More atmospheric. Actually, I think it's funny when you turn away for a while and work on something else and you look back at the painting and you realize that there's something that's really missing, and that's, I can see now, I need a much darker pattern of shadow across this road here. Over to there. Should even that could be a little darker, so I'm going to just run it in there. The whole pattern of that is much, much darker. So I think I've got to get working on the tree as well, and then put some signage in here and sort this road. More dappled colours in here as well. I think we need to do that. Well, I've got a crimson alizarin and a little bit of blue. Give me that. Darken it up with a bit of Payne's grey. Yeah, I think I can. We ought to do that. Some dappledy light from this tree. What I'll do now is to use a damp brush, just soften those edges of the shadow. Don't want them hard edged. Well, that's my finished painting. I've done quite a lot actually since the battery died on me. I only get 1 hour on this and it wasn't even fully charged, so I've gone on to complete it, so you don't have to go through any more suffering. But anyway, I've tightened up on quite a lot of things and put some gouache in to emphasize some lights and got some more straighter edges. Finished the tree, of course. Put these double yellow lines in on the cars. Tried to put something in there, and got a pedestrian here. You might just pick him out there, and a couple more here, and more definition in these buildings at the other end of the street. And got some shadowing effect here from this tree. This obviously much darker here, coming across here and here. But I think I've got the essence of it anyway. Can be, certainly I can do better if I spend a lot of time defining this, but you run the risk of overworking it. So rather than do that, I called a halt now because it's captured the atmosphere of my visit to this little town. So anyway, if you like this and you want to see more, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button as well, so you'll be notified when I do more work, and it helps me grow the channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I certainly had some fun doing it. So thanks for watching.